All right, hold on a minute. If you tune in, sorry, I'm just getting everything situated. Okay. Wait, how do I share this? Copy. I know we're early. We were just trying to get everything set up and all that. Good stuff. If you're watching on Twitter, definitely, I'm going to pin this to my profile. Definitely comment and let me know. I've got my phone right here so that I can see replies and all that. Otherwise, I'm using StreamYard and it doesn't show um, comments or Twitter replies on StreamYard. Where are you at? But we are still trying to get situated and all that good stuff. I'm making sure everything's up and running properly. Um, before I get started, let me put links. Oops, hold on. Y'all, my website is so out of date. I still have my banner or whatever says to pre-order Wildflowers, and Wildflowers released in like June of last year or something like that. So my website's not up to date. Let's see. All right, hold on. Just posting links and stuff. Here is, I'm going to pop the link to buy the house on Peril Street on my website. That is where you get a signed copy. I don't have free shipping. Hold on. I don't have free shipping on my website. Sorry about that. If you absolutely must have free shipping, I am going to pop in, or you're international and you would like to buy the house on Peril Street, I'm going to pop in the link for Amazon as well. Let me find that real quick. And it's available on Amazon in ebook and paperback format. The ebook is $3.99. The paperback is $8.99. But it's also on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, then it's free for you. And, and then we get paid by page reads, in case you don't know how that works. But let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm taking forever to get set up. If you're on YouTube, okay. If you're on YouTube, pop a if you're watching via YouTube, pop a comment in and say hey or whatever. If you're watching on Twitter, just reply to this broadcast or whatever, okay? Oops. So I think all y'all know me already. It's so funny. It says on Twitter, it says Periscope, and I don't think Periscope is a thing anymore, right? Um, but anyway, I'm being like a little all over the place. Um, but well, let me keep my Twitter open. But anyways, I am Vanessa, and I am a horror writer, a horror and dark fantasy writer, as well as a poet. I am also an editor. I edit horror, dark fantasy, sci-fi, and gothic fiction. Um, I have my book Wildflowers, which is a horror novel, as well as various short stories. I am one of the poets in Crow Calls Volume 3 from Quill and Crow. And I have a lot of stuff I've submitted this year. I'm waiting on I've submitted 3 short stories to see if I'll be in any anthologies coming up this year. And I'm working on some novels. But of course, you guys are here because it is the launch day of the house on Peril Street. This is my son, Ryan. Ryan, can you wave at the camera? Ryan, can you wave at the camera? He's very shy. Um, so his mic is on mute. He probably won't be doing much talking today, but because he's very shy. However, Ryan is my 9-year-old son. He loves horror just like me. His favorite horror character is Jason Voorhees. He loves Friday the 13th. He's been watching horror since he was really little. He's always loved horror. I think his first horror movie was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Um, I know that's probably you're probably like, wow, he's so young and he's singing this stuff or whatever. Um, no judgment, no. If you don't allow your kids to watch horror and stuff, that's fine. But I do let him watch horror. He handles it well. He doesn't have nightmares or anything like that. I think the next movie after Texas Chainsaw Massacre that he really wore out is Rubber. And if you're a horror fan, you've probably seen Rubber. It's a very artistically done horror movie. It's funny in some ways, but oh my gosh, he probably watched that a million times. Hey, I see that people are watching. If you're watching, wherever you're at, drop a comment. If you're on YouTube, drop a comment if you can. If you're on Facebook, say hey. If you're on Twitter, leave a reply. I won't be able to see your reply on StreamYard, but I will see it on my phone. I have my phone with me. This is some new software that I'm actually using for my podcast. As most of you guys know, I'm also the co-host of Drive the Nail podcast, which is a podcast that talks about all things horror, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about The House on Peril Street. So The House on Peril Street is a middle grade horror, and it follows Billy, who is 10 years old. Billy moves from busy Chicago to a quiet street called Peril Street in Virginia with his parents. Weird things start happening around the house, and Billy gets a little scared and freaked out, but his parents don't believe him. Ultimately, they think that he's just acting out because he didn't want to move in the first place. So they think that he's just making all this stuff up basically because he doesn't want to live there. So his parents don't believe him. Well, he has an elderly neighbor, Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins is really awesome. Initially, Billy's kind of freaked out by Mr. Jenkins because he's old, like he's really old, okay? He's elderly. And Mr. Jenkins isn't too thrilled about having a youngster on the street because it's mostly old folks that live on the street, okay? And they're used to the peace and quiet. But despite the reservations, an uncanny friendship forms, and it's ultimately Mr. Jenkins that kind of gives Billy the courage he needs to face his fears. Of course, you'll have to read the book to figure out what I'm talking about, but it's a really sweet friendship. It gently tackles ageism. I do want to answer some questions that I've gotten about the house on Peril Street. If you've been following the journey, then you already know about the house on Peril Street and all that. But it's middle grade horror. There are ghosts in the book, but no active characters die. There's no violence whatsoever. We don't really do that in middle grade horror. There's not even a stub toe. There's no inappropriate language. There's no romance, nothing like that. So it's really age appropriate. And if you're wondering what middle grade horror means, especially the house on Peril Street, this is really for lower middle grade. It's good for ages like 9 to 12, 13. That's going to be the interest. Really, those younger ages are really, who it's for. It's a short book. It's only 8,000 words, which for those of us that write adult novels and stuff like that, you're probably thinking, like, holy cow, that's a short book. That's not even a novella. But in middle grade books, it is common for books to be that short for the lower middle grade. It's really short, sweet, to the point, but it still has a great storyline. It's still creepy. If you're into horror yourself as an adult, you may want to read it yourself because there are some creepy moments in the book. It's not going to scare the living daylights out of you, but there's some chilling moments, that's for sure. I'm just checking Twitter. But one of the questions I was asked is, how did I know like how much horror to put in a children's book? And the reality is that I just did my research. I read lots of articles on writing middle grade horror or children's horror, whatever. Um, and learn the do's and the don'ts of writing horror for that age group. And I ran some scenes past Ryan, and he didn't give me any issues with the scary scenes, but of course he does like scary stuff. So, I've also been asked whose idea was it. It was my idea. Ryan actually doesn't like to write really. He's a great writer, but he doesn't actually like to write. His involvement in the book was mostly the formation of the ideas and the character development and all the stuff that you do to prepare to write. So basically, it's like his ideas that I put down into words. So it was a lot of fun. Um, if you have a little one and you've thought about maybe writing with them, then I definitely say give it a go. It's a great experience. Um, I still remember when I asked, like, you know, well, he came up with the name Billy. And then in addition to that, like, what type of kid was Billy and stuff. And Ryan's just like, he should just be a normal kid, mom. Like, just a normal kid. And I'm like, okay, I can do that, I guess. I have a 9-year-old son. I have a stepson that is now a teenager. I think I can write a 10-year-old boy. So that was a lot of fun, though. If you guys have any other questions about the house on Peril Street, let me know. We are giving away, well, for one, 50% of all sales are going to the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project helps LGBTQ youth with a focus on suicide prevention. It's a great organization. If you don't know about the Trevor Project, look them up, but they're well known, well established. And I just love their mission. And right now they're, with everything going on in Texas and in Florida, and all that, the attack on LGBTQ youth, they're really stepping up to the plate to kind of deal with that. And, my son and I, we love all people, right, Ryan? Yeah, we love all people. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter who they're attracted to, what gender they identify as, anything like that. Nobody deserves to feel outcast and ostracized for it. And the most that we can do is donate a portion of ourselves, 50%. I would love to donate 100%, but the reality is I have to pay for marketing. I have to pay for other stuff. But in addition to donating 50% of the sales to the Trevor Project, for every 5 books we sell, we are donating one to Kids Need to Read. Kids Need to Read is an amazing organization that helps get books into the hands of disadvantaged kids nationwide. Okay. It's a fantastic organization, and you can visit their website and see all the different schools and libraries and other organizations that they have helped with Kids Need to Read. It's really cool. So we'll be donating one book for every 5 that we sell to Kids Need to Read. But I'll probably send more than that, to be honest with you. So, the house on Peril Street is going for, it's got some good causes that you'll support by purchasing it. Now, I want to talk about purchasing it. You can purchase it on the website. I dropped the link below already. You can purchase it on my website, Vanessa Michelle. That's not Michael. My middle name is Michelle, VanessaMichellePerry.com. If you purchase on there, we do make a ton more profit, so therefore a ton more is going to go to the Trevor Project, but you do have to pay for shipping. And I know that for my international folks, that may not be conducive. And just in general, if you don't have the budget to budget in the shipping costs, which I think is like $3.99, then that's okay. You can also purchase it on Amazon. And I popped that link down in there too. It's available worldwide on Amazon. And it's also available in ebook format. In ebook format, you can obviously change the font size and the font of your reader or whatever on your device. But I do want to say, though, that the paperback that is available on Amazon and my website, which is the same editions, you just get a signed copy on my website. The paperback is large print to really help those that are dyslexic or have eyesight problems. Anything like that. It makes it really easy for the kids to be able to read, okay? And like I said, it's a short story, so if your kid has an issue with reading long books, then I think they'll be okay with The House on Peril Street. It's 70 pages. That's in large print. Like I said, it's a little over 8,000 words. It might be closer to 9,000. I'm not sure. But it's a short read. So yeah, there's that. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment. I don't know if I can see your comments if you're watching on YouTube. But I know that if you're watching on Facebook, I can see your comments on this software. So definitely drop a comment if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on Twitter, just reply to this tweet or at me, whatever. And we want to give away some books. Okay, whoops. Let me just check Twitter real quick. I know 5 is kind of a weird time. It's 5 Eastern time, so a lot of folks that aren't in Eastern time are still at work. A lot of folks that are Eastern time are just now getting off of work or getting ready for dinner. I know it's an awkward time, but I didn't want to do it too late. Not that Ryan has a bedtime or anything. He does virtual schooling at home with yours truly, so he doesn't have to go to bed super early. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions about the house on Peril Street, if you want to know if it's appropriate for your kiddo, shoot me a message on Twitter or whatever. You can also email me at hello@VanessaMichellePerry.com. But the best way to reach me is definitely on Twitter. Just shoot me a DM, tell me a little bit about what your kiddo finds scary or not, and I'll let you know if it might be too much for them or not. Okay, I am going to read a very, very short snippet of The House on Peril Street. Hold on just a second. I copied and pasted in my notes. This is just a very little snippet, just a little scary scene. Billy bent down to clean the bottom shelf, being sure to wipe away all the debris. He stood up again to dust the top shelf and the TV when he was so startled that he screamed. In the reflection of the shut-off TV, he saw an old man with a marionette and a sinister smile. I also want to read the poem that's at the beginning of the book. Hold on a minute. Give me a second. I posted on Twitter before, but yeah. Okay, so it says, this is called the Rinkety Clankety Man. Here comes the Rinkety Clankety Man. Run and hide as fast as you can. Clankety clank, you hear his toys. Cover your eyes, girls and boys. Um, spoiler alert, cover your ears if you don't want to hear this, if you plan on reading this yourself. But spoiler alert, the Rinkety Clankety Man is the ghost that haunts Billy's house, but he ends up not being the real villain. In the end, he's there to help Billy. And he was once a toy maker. So part of the little scariness leading up until we reveal that he's not the real villain is him moving toys around. Like Billy found this wooden, those old fashioned wooden ducks that are on wheels with the string that you can pull. Billy found a metal one, and then at one point it was replaced with an even bigger and better one. So not necessarily. So the Rinkety Clinky Man is actually there to help Billy, and he helps him face the real villain, which was ultimately the Rinkety Clinkety Man. His name is Cecil. Cecil's business partner who made toys that scared children. Cecil didn't like that he made toys that scared children, so Cecil exited the business. And when his business partner died, his business partner's wife gave Cecil all these toys that he had made. Well, since they're so scary and everything, Cecil locked them away in a secret room in the attic. Okay. And so ultimately, in the end, Billy has to find these toys and get rid of them so that the real enemy, his name is Fred, so that Fred goes away. At the end, again, spoiler alert, but at the end, he's gotten rid of all these toys and stuff, and everything's going great and everything. But we end the story with, here, I'll just read it to you guys real quick. Let me scroll down. So, honey, will you take this to the spare room? Billy's mom asked. The pink one, just put it on one of the beds. I'm trying to turn it into a guest room. Billy's mom asked him to take a blanket up to a spare room that is painted pink, which you figure out why it's painted pink and whatever. You got it, Mom, Billy said. He made his way upstairs. When he opened the door to the pink room, he couldn't believe his eyes. On one of the beds set, a but 9 doll. And I made them but 9 because I am personally freaking terrified of but 9 dolls. No, I don't do Coraline at all. They terrify me. So I made it a but 9 doll, but this but 9 doll, she gets moved around in the book a little bit and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, what the hell, when, sorry for my language if there's kids watching this, but it's kind of like, what the heck, when this but 9 doll is still there. And that's how the book ends, leaving it open for a possible sequel. I don't know if there will be one, but we'll see about that. If you've got any questions, please let me know. And Winter, thank you for retweeting if you're watching this. If you have watched this, I want to keep this short because, as you can see, my son's attention span is not with it today. He's just being shy, y'all. That's all. But if you watched this, please leave me a comment or shoot me a DM on Twitter or Facebook, wherever you're watching this. Shoot me a DM that you've watched it. Even if you're on YouTube, go to Twitter and shoot me a DM. And we will send you a free signed copy of The House on Peril Street. If you've already made a purchase, then I will happily donate it on your behalf. I will send it to you anyway so that you can give it to a friend, or that you can give it away to somebody, or you can just have a spare copy. I'd also be happy to refund you for the copy that you already bought and send you the free copy, however you want to make that work. Just to show our appreciation for you guys tuning in to watch. We want to send you a free signed copy of The House on Peril Street. I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm just looking at my son, who's like, whatever, Mom, you're making me do this. I told him this is author stuff, guys. This is author stuff. You have to do this stuff. But yeah. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Like I said, will there be a sequel? I don't know. We'll find out. If there is, it probably won't be out till later this year. I am working on so much stuff. I've written 3 short stories and submitted them to 3 different small publishers for various anthologies. I am working on a super secret horror book. I don't want to say too much because I don't even know how to talk about this horror book yet without giving away the entire premise. I guess I can tell y'all a little snippet type thing of what it's about. Basically, this ordinary guy. Hey, buddy, you can go if you want to. Buddy, you can go if you want to. But basically, this ordinary guy with a boring ass life and a boring job, he decides to have a one-night stand, which is completely out of his character. But he decides to have a one-night stand with this really cool girl. She goes to an art school. She lives in this studio type apartment, like kind of industrial apartment in downtown Savannah, Georgia, which is very artsy in case y'all didn't know. And she's got her charcoal drawings up all over the apartment and stuff. And he's just kind of amazed and taken aback by the beauty of these drawings, right? The beauty of the art. I don't know what that noise is. But anyway, in the book, the art starts coming to life in the most horrendous way possible. And it's going to be really good. I am actually going to start looking for beta readers. I really want to query this one, and I really want to try to go the traditional publishing route. Mainly, I'm looking for small indie publishers. Not any big publishers. I'm not trying to not trying to do that. Be waiting years. Um, but so I'm working on that, and as soon as I'm finished and get some beta readers, I'm going to start querying. I'm hoping that Lost Boys Press opens up their general submissions soon, and that it coincides with me being finished with that manuscript, because I would love to have a book published by them. Of course, I'm biased because I do volunteer for Lost Boys Press, but anyway, so I've worked on that. I'm on the fence about querying or just going ahead. No, I'm still not sure about querying or self-publishing the Christian Prophecy. Initially, I had it set in stone that I was going to self-publish it. It would be my first dark fantasy novel versus full-on horror. I've been writing some dark fantasy short stories. Here, I can remove him from there. Y'all are just looking at my couch. But it'd be my first full-on dark fantasy novel, and I really enjoyed the world building and all that you don't typically get to do with horror. So I'm really proud of it, and I'm on the fence about self-publishing or querying it, trying to get traditionally published. There's one small publisher I think it'd be a good fit, but I'm very scared to submit it. Quill and Crow, cough, cough. Um, but I did submit a short story to Quill and Crow's Carnival. What is it called? I forgot what they called it, but it's like their Carnival anthology. I forgot what they called it, but I submitted a short story for there. I submitted a short story for the Lost Boys Press Great Wars, and I submitted a short story to Tenebris Press. I don't know if that's even how you say that, Tenebris. I can write, I swear. I submitted the short story to them. It's like the horror. I forgot what it's called, Horror of You or something like that. Basically, like horror that is, that represents you. So those are the 3 shorts, and now I'm thinking about another short story. But I told myself that 3 was enough for this year, but already in the first quarter I've submitted 3. So what am I to do other than keep submitting short stories? But I write like 4,500 words a day, guys. So I am just pumping out words. Sometimes, for stuff that never is going to see the light of day, and for stuff that I'm just submitting and all that. But yeah, my 2 novels, The Super Secret Project, The Art That Comes to Life, and The Christian Prophecy, those are the 2 big novels. I had planned to write a sequel to Wildflowers, but I'm so, now that it's been almost a year, okay, not quite a year, I guess, like 9 months since I published Wildflowers, I am really disappointed with it. I've grown so much as a writer that there is so much that I wish I would have done differently. And I feel like if I write a sequel to Wildflowers, that it would be just amazing in comparison, but it would kind of make Wildflowers seem like, so I don't know. It wouldn't match. It wouldn't match the writing style and stuff like that. I mean, my style hasn't changed that much, but am I sounding Southern now? My style, my style hasn't changed that much, but still, though, I do write differently, and I've gotten a lot more practice since I wrote Wildflowers. So yeah, but anyways, I've been yapping now. And I'm so glad that some of you guys tuned in. It's not showing me viewers on here, so I don't even know if anybody tuned in. But, oops. Yeah, it won't show me viewers on Twitter. The software won't. But, I know that you guys have been sharing and stuff, and I appreciate that. Again, if you would like a free copy of The House on Peril Street, shoot me a DM on Facebook or Twitter. If you're on YouTube, find me on Twitter at Horror Author VMP. My name is Vanessa Perry. On Twitter, it's Vanessa Hot Mess Perry or Vanessa P Hot Mess Horror Author, something like that. It has the words hot mess in it in my name. So if you find that one, then you found the right Vanessa Perry on Twitter. Um, but I'm really excited about my son's debut novel, and hopefully this will inspire him to create more, even if he's just the one dishing out the ideas and not necessarily the writing part yet. Um, but I'm gonna hop off here. It's hot. I'm wearing a sweater dress, and it's dinner time. But I appreciate you guys. And until next time, bye, y'all.